Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. I hope you watched the Maverick meetup video. We had that meetup on Thanksgiving weekend, which proved to be quite a challenge, just based on the fact that there's a lot of traffic, but we had a lot of fun. Certainly we will be planning another one coming up in the spring. We won't be doing any more meetups this winter, just for the simple fact a lot of people may be riding around in some snow testing out their new Mavericks, or maybe they're not so new Mavericks. So today we have what I'm going to call an inside job. I'm going to be inside the cab doing stuff that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Some of the stuff that we have in here today that we're going to do is stuff that you guys will find helpful too. So the first thing we're going to do, this big, move the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. This thing right here, armrest, yes. It's also supposed to be something else, and a lot of you guys are going to maybe identify with me when I tell you that in my armrest is stuff that should not be. And every time I pull this thing open and look in here, and I'm like, what in the world is all of that stuff? So what we're going to do is we're going to address that right now, because we've had some items come in and I want to show you. Now, before we can do anything with this little armrest, as you can see, there's some stuff in here. Now, I'm not going to be embarrassed, because I'm sure you guys, maybe some of you guys, maybe not all of you guys, maybe some of you ladies that have Mavericks, maybe yours doesn't look like this. Well, see, here's on the front side, I got my gloves. Yes, I keep those things in there because I use them, and I do keep them in a handy place. But all the rest of the stuff, there's a bag, and here's what we're going to do. This bag is in here because I got something out of the bag, and I said, oh, I don't have any time to do anything with it right now, so I'm just going to throw it in here. So for right now, everything that's in this center armrest is going in the bag. After which time, when we get done what I want to do, we're going to go back, take everything that we pulled out, find a home for it, or throw it away. Empty. That's the way it should be, right? So now what are we going to do with this area? Well, I went online like a lot of you guys do. You know how you do. You do it too, don't lie. Especially you, Danny. I was talking to Danny at the Maverick meetup, and he was telling me he has to stay offline because every time he goes on there, he sees some stuff that he wants for the Maverick. And I'm the same way. I'm learning to control myself, though. Probably made in China. I'm not sure. I'm not going to deny or confirm. What does it say here? New item made in China. So there we have it. The cat is out of the bag, or should I say the box. Okay, look what we got here. This is a center armrest organizer. Now, when I was ordering it, you could order it with the little blue line, which is what I got. And then it had the orange. I think the orange and another color was on back order. And I have enough orange accents in here. I thought the blue would be nice, so I'll try that. First, we have the top part of this. And I think if you grab the sides and just push this up, the top part is a coin tray. So you're going to take this little doodad here and sit inside. It'll keep stuff from sliding around in there. And it fits in there nice and snug. So we put that in the top part. We'll just set that to the side for a second. Now in the bottom part, all kinds of little organizing bins. So we have another little doodad that fits down in here like so. Keep stuff from sliding around. Keep it nice. So that is the bottom piece Now I'm kind of wondering, why don't they just, I guess they're making you think you're really getting something. Oh, look at all the pieces. Well, if you put that in there to begin with, I won't have to do it when I get it. But nevertheless, it is what it is. Put that in there like that. And there is also a little teeny one for this top piece that goes right in here like this. So when you get done, it all looks like that. Okay. So then this sits back into the top part. Then all you got to do is open up your armrest, and this will just simply sit right down into the top very neatly. And I must say, it's right. It looks right neat. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put anything. Well, I got my little handy knife. I'm going to put that down in there, down in the bottom part. It basically takes 2 fingers to put that apart. And, actually, no, that won't fit in there right. I don't need to put that in there. That's definitely word saying to me, stop putting that in there. It doesn't belong in there. Okay, so now we have this little handy dandy little storage bin, and now we are organized. So I have some little batteries that are for my little air freshener thingy in my truck. I'll put them in one little compartment. If I get any change, I can also put that in there. And it's not like the Maverick doesn't have lots of storage area, so I'm gonna put my little pin in there as well. So now I won't have stuff rolling around up front. And I can use these other bins for things that they should be used for, and not for stuff that it shouldn't be, which is most of the stuff that I put anywhere. And you know how you dig down in there for change? Now the change will fit right in this little change tray. That way, when I actually need some change, I can reach down in there and get it. So, and the little safety pin. You never know when you're going to need a safety pin, right? Probably not. Okay, this is all about today. This video is all about the little things. Okay, now that sets up right neatly and nicely. Now we're going to move up here. And one of the people, my new friend Paul, at the Maverick meetup, won one of these for the prize for the farthest distance Maverick that traveled. And I do apologize to both Paul and Danny, because in the video, and I didn't catch it until after it was already posted, Danny and Paul were pretty much from the same area, but Paul had come just a little bit farther than Danny, and I think in the video it said that Danny won the prize for the farthest away. So we're going to clean our screen off real nice like that. And I don't know about you guys, I use my touch screen all the time. On a lighter note, I did take the Maverick back down to the Ford dealership, and they were able to put my new USB port in and have it repaired. And it was a real, I want to tell you guys this, ever since last Saturday at the Maverick meet, I had some health issues and I wasn't aware of, but I was made aware of it very quickly. I ended up having a blood clot in my arm. Not sure why, but anybody who's ever had an internal deep vein blood clot knows that those are nothing to play with. You can actually die from that. And a matter of fact, my brother, my oldest brother, did die from that. So it's one of those things. I know this is very personal stuff, but I let you guys into my life, and so I have to tell you guys real stuff, because I'm a real person just like you guys. Go through all kinds of things. But to make a long story short, I ended up in the emergency room on Monday, and what I thought was a blood clot when they did a sonogram was in fact a blood clot. So yeah, those things can move in your arm and actually kill you. Now I'm going to verify that this is the correct size, and it is. Put it back into the little sheath so we don't get dust or dirt or anything on it. I got out of the emergency room and they said to me, oh, these are the dust remover stickers, so I will use that after we get it wiped down. They were supposed to give me a prescription for blood thinners, but they had told me that they were going to phone the prescription in. So I went home, waited all day for the prescription to be phoned in. And by the time we got to like 3 o'clock, the pharmacist was telling me, no one has sent in any prescription for you. So I'm like, what in the world? I began calling the hospital, emergency room. About 10 calls later, 5 by me and about 5 by my wife, we just kept going in circles. They kept forwarding us to the next person, forwarding us to the next person, and every time you ended up back leaving someone a message. Now that should not be when it comes to someone's prescription. It should be a number that you can call, that you can get, that you can contact somebody and find out what's going on. Well, that didn't happen. So we're wiping the screen down with this alcohol wipe, and it should be good to go. Set that aside. So the next thing that I tried to do was, okay, I'm not sure what to do, but what I do know, to the story, after calling the pharmacist more than twice, they hadn't gotten it. I drove back to the emergency room, and I was greeted at the door of the emergency room by the cops, security, not security cops, but regular cops, saying that the emergency room was now on lockdown. And I'm like, lockdown? I'm like, sir, I was here this morning. I need my prescription. And he let me in. And the same lady that discharged me without giving me the prescription was there and said, oh, why are you here? Weren't you here this morning? I said, yes, I was. But the prescription that you were supposed to give me a paper copy of, you didn't. And no one called it in. So now here I am back here again trying to get a prescription because you guys didn't give it to me. So she proceeds to run across the room to another lady and say, what do I do? I don't know if the lady was new or what, but that's exactly what happened. So she gives us a prescription. I run back to the CVS where I had been waiting all day for my prescription, and they inform me of this. The medication that they have prescribed for you, we don't have it. We're going to have to order it. And then I'm thinking to myself, OMG, how in the world do they not have a prescription for a readily available blood thinner? Well, they didn't have it. Well, I can see already this is going to fit, but not exactly. Now I'm going to pull that up just a hair. Oh, come on, Carl, don't break it. I'm not good at putting these on my phone, so if I mess this up. All right, that's locking itself down. So I get there, and they say, I'm sorry, we do not have your medication. What we're going to ask that you do is we'll have to order this, and this will be in sometime tomorrow. Now, this is a blood thinner. This is not something that is optional when you have a blood clot. My brother, like I said, my brother died from a blood clot in his leg that traveled to his heart, and he died. on the day when we were going to have him discharged from the hospital. He had some other health issues, which I will not go into at this time. But basically, on the day when we thought my brother was coming home, he died. Matter of fact, it was the same exact day that Dale Earnhardt crashed and died on the speedway. I'll never forget it. So my brother went into cardiac arrest and stayed on life support until he passed. It's one of those things in my life that I don't like to remember, but it is real. So to say that I was a little bit upset and thinking to myself, I've got to get this medication, is to be putting it mildly. To let you know, even after your insurance, this medication that they have prescribed for you at the hospital is going to be $250 some to fill your prescription. Okay, I got that down nice and snug. $250. I'm like, $250 some for a prescription, and they're like, yeah, that's how much it is. And I'm like, after insurance, right? And I said, yeah, that's after your insurance. And then I said, well, can you please tell me why, or I need to know something, because I've never had to pay that kind of money. I have a very good insurance. I've never had to pay anything like that for a prescription. So the lady comes over. She says, here is a prescription website where you can go and you may be able to get a discount card. But in the meantime, we can't get this until tomorrow. She said, well, the main reason why we can't is because the way the doctor at the ER filled it out, he put you down for a dosage, not a dosage, but a number of pills that is not a discount. It can't be discounted the way it's on here, basically what she was saying. So I came back, did not get my medication that I was supposed to have earlier that day to get into my system, so that I wouldn't have a heart attack or something else worse than that. And with nothing. So last night I had to basically sit there and pray that I would make it to today. So I had to come up with an alternative plan. You know, sometimes when life deals you one of these type things, it doesn't do any good to get upset and to get mad about it. So I prayed all night. I took some low dose aspirin every 4 hours. I didn't do a whole lot of moving around, and I made it to this morning. And I thank God for that. So this morning my plan was to go to my regular doctor, tell him what happened, have him fill me out another prescription, and then get that filled. In the meantime, I was supposed to drop this off at 9:30 this morning to get the USB port fixed. So I get to my doctor's office as soon as they open, go in the door, go to the nurse. Here are my paperwork. I went to the emergency room yesterday. I had a blockage. I have a blood clot in my arm. I need this medication. The way they filled it out, I told them the whole nine. Oh, well, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. I'm thinking, what? You have to have an appointment before we can change. I said, ma'am, yesterday when I left the emergency room, they told me to get in touch with my doctor. At which time I came home, called you guys on the phone, and the earliest appointment that you can give me is for the 7th of December. And the lady goes, yeah, I understand that. And yeah, that's the earliest appointment we can give you, but we can't. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that somebody can see me, look at this paperwork, know that I'm coming in on the 7th, write me up a prescription. I know you, okay, I understand the law is that they have to see you before they write a prescription, but everything has already been spelled out by the ER. Everything is on there. No one can see me for like 5 minutes and get this done so I can get my medication. This is not something that's, optional. This is life or death. Well, the only thing that we can do is schedule you for an appointment, and this is for like 2 counties away from where I live at, and we'll be able to they can get you in at 4 p.m. this evening. I said, ma'am, do you realize I have a blood clot in my arm and that I was supposed to start taking this medication yesterday afternoon, and I still don't have the medication in me, and it's now the next day? Yeah, I understand that. I said, I'll tell you what, can I go to one of these emergency, these little emergency clinics you can go in? Yes, you sir can. I said, bye, I'll see you. Thank you very much. And I left. So I went to one of my wife's places that she goes if she can't get into her doctor. And they were very accommodating, but it was not fast. I got there. There was nobody there. I filled out a thing, registration. I'm sure I'm going to get a bill from them too. And the ER that I'm going to have so many medical bills from this morning. Anyway, so I get there, tell them the whole situation again. Run over the whole thing to them. Oh no, I can't believe that happened. It's a funny thing, on the day before, they told me I had to go back to the hospital to get the prescription, and that was crazy. So they pulled me in the room, and I was there for 2 hours. 2 hours to get a prescription so that I can get medicine that I have to take so I can survive till tomorrow. They finally agreed to write the prescription. I said, don't even write it. Send it directly to the CVS so they'll have it right now. So when I get there, they'll be able to have the medicine. 2 hours later, as they say, I'm getting out of there. They've sent the prescription in. At this point, it's about 9:35. And my appointment at the Ford dealership was for 9:30. And I'm about 45 minutes away from the dealership. So I called them, told them, hey, I got some issues. I'm still bringing the car in. I drove there, got there about 10:30, and they asked me what I was there. I said, well, I had an appointment for 9:30. Make a long story short, they got me in. I sat and talked with some ladies in the waiting room. And it was a very pleasant experience. I was able to speak with someone, and it was just it was like I was supposed to be there. It was sometimes God has you in a situation at a time and a place so that you can encourage somebody else, and that was what today was. And it's hard for me to explain it to you guys, but I was meant to be there at that time. And within, I would say, an hour, they had the USB port done, and I was riding home. So thank God, everything worked out. I went, picked up my medication on the way back home. I took my medication. I'm going to take another one later on today and hopefully go back to work in a couple days. It's not good to be moving and jumping around, and when you have a blood clot, it's good to try to let it kind of dissolve. And I've had them before, so I'm very cautious, and I'm not a hard head when it comes to those type things. So getting back to what we're doing, this is now installed, so we now have a touch screen, and I'm going to turn the vehicle on in just a moment after we get the last thing installed to make sure that works right. It went on pretty easily. I would say this one is made in China. Doesn't have a brand name. It just says tempered glass. I got it on eBay. You can buy these all day on eBay and Amazon, so I'm not going to put a link in the description. You guys have probably seen these on other people's videos before, so I'm not going to do that. But I have to say this, I can't remember how much I paid for it either, so it wasn't very much, I can tell you that. So that's installed. The last thing that we're going to do is up near the roof. Now, when I ordered that, I also ordered a couple more things, and I'm Ford Maverick interior LEDs. I'm like, cool, that'd be great. I'll buy some LEDs. It comes in this little bag in the mail in a little baggie, and I got these off of Amazon. They are also from China. It doesn't tell you anything where they go or anything. So I get in my truck the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I'll give someone these as one of the gifts at the Maverick meet. Then I get in the truck, I'm like, I open the door. I really only have in this truck 3 LEDs. This is like 12 different LED bulbs. I'm maybe thinking maybe one of them I may be able to use in the maybe the tag light. But in here I only have these 2 lights here, and there's a convenience light in the back. So okay, there we go. One side down. I move the headrest out of the way. See if you just kind of, this is like a wedgie, plastic wedgie. Okay, pop both of those down. Then you should be able to reach in here and push the little metal clip forward, and it should release. There we go. And there it is. That wasn't too hard now, was it? Well, it wasn't. Okay, so I just saved you guys a whole bunch of trouble, because when I pulled the panel off, got everything unscrewed, voila, guess what? These are LEDs already. So all the LED bulbs that I have in that little baggie that are described as for the Ford Maverick, maybe they're different than the XL, but mine is an XLT Luxury. But if you have an XLT Luxury, you already have an LED panel already in there. So don't waste your time like I did. See, this is why we do these things, because if I don't tell you, then you won't know. There are LEDs already in there if you have an XLT Luxury package. XL, I don't know. Base model, I just don't know. But save yourself some time. Don't pull it down, don't pull it out, because you already have LEDs. So I've got a whole bunch of LED bulbs that I'm gonna have to use in something. I'm not sure what yet. Okay, I did just test the performance of the screen, and it is working perfectly. Hope you guys can with the glass protective screen. It still simply touches just like everything has worked before. So go to audio, not provided, and everything's good. Source, yep. So there's no issues at all with the screen protector. Works like magic. Yeah, and I suppose this will provide, it does feel a lot better to the touch, I will say that, because it's a glass protector. I'm glad I was able to get that fixed today. So God bless you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.